Storrs Center is a vibrant mixed-use town center with a mix of restaurants, retail, residential, office, and green space next to the University of Connecticut.
This project is the most important project, I think, that's happened on the Storrs campus in history.
Since UConn's beginnings as an agricultural school in 1881, it's blossomed into one of the country's top public universities on a stunning campus. But once you step foot off of it, there was really nowhere to go.
Little attention was paid to the ambience of a college town.
Mansfield is a college community. It's unique because it has a fairly large university, but it's a very small community. Basically, it's a rural community outside of the campus.
The idea of having more of a town center was something that was around years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. And but it really started getting some momentum in the 1990s.
I think there was a desire on the part of a lot of people to see something happen, and I think we finally developed the will to see it happen. When we started the Mansfield Downtown Partnership, I think all of the stars aligned.
The Mansfield Downtown Partnership included officials from the town, the university, and business community.
We then started talking to the university because they own most of the land. And the university came on board, and from that time on, we started working on actually developing a downtown.
The whole goal was to provide more amenities for the town, more things for people to do, both residents, students, faculty, staff.
We knew from the beginning we wanted it to be a mixed-use project. We didn't want it to be a mall. We didn't want it to be a place that shut down at 5 o'clock. We also recognized some of the challenges we faced, such as the student population and the university population not being here for the summer months. And we also recognized early on that we needed community involvement. During the process, the Downtown Partnership held over 400 meetings with every aspect of the community, asking for input, asking for suggestions. We even had children draw a mural on the back of one of the existing buildings in this area, showing us what they would like to see.
I think the desire to have a pedestrian-friendly downtown was very high on the priority list in terms of the function of the town center.
The plan centered around a town square surrounded by commercial, parks, open space, and adequate housing.
There has been the historic problem of businesses having enough patronage during the summer months. So it was important to populate the downtown with enough residents to help support the businesses.
The partnership, through a request for qualifications process, found developer Leyland Alliance.
Leyland Alliance was a great development partner because they understood the concept of creating a great college town environment, trying to position the restaurants and the retail and the commercial in a compelling way to fulfill what we wanted, which was a town that was user-friendly, economically viable, and socially active.
Leyland Alliance brought on a housing developer, EDR, which had the financial wherewithal to be its housing partner for the rental housing. They were going into expanding a little bit from student housing to what they call collegiate housing. So the housing that's here now that's rental is market rate housing open to anyone.
Storrs Center includes 175,000 square feet of commercial with retail, restaurants, and a grocery, 618 rental units, 42 townhomes and condos, new roads and sidewalks, a half-acre town square, and 24 acres of nature preserves.
We also knew that we wanted it to be unique. We did not want to rely on national companies. We wanted people to have a chance to open their own businesses, small, local. And we also wanted it to be a point of destination.
There were existing businesses on the site before.
We had a not-so-pretty-looking strip mall that was actually owned by the University of Connecticut. Those folks needed to be either relocated, needed to be compensated, whether they relocated, retired, or moved someplace outside the project area.
Some of them moved back in.
We were successful in being able to work with them on that. But yeah, they still had some loyal, we only have, for many things, we only have one of them. Now we have a lot more of, especially with restaurants. There were very few restaurants. Now some people are like, you have too many restaurants. I'm like, well.
Storrs Center is in its last phase of development, finishing up the residential as new arrivals are quickly filling up the remaining retail tenant space.
One of the things that was very hard to do was to bring the community and the students and faculty at UConn together. There was no center where people would mingle. That's changing. And of course, not the least is the increase in the tax base. And with a state that has shrinking resources, that's been a tremendous benefit to us.
Even just having sidewalks, we really didn't have sidewalks anywhere. A couple in the residential, but just even running into your neighbors on the sidewalk, it was things as simple as that this project has created because of the way it is laid out. I think people have just been amazed by what has happened. It's really transformed this community.
This project really needed to get done because it really cements the relationship between the town and the university and allows people to come into town and, I like to say, loiter.
Now that Storrs Center is a success within Mansfield, the partnership is looking towards ways to make it a destination beyond.